Hello, I'm APX and welcome back to the video. So today I wanted to share something just a little bit different with you all, because usually on this channel I like to be pretty proud that I'm showing off things that I'm really deeply aware of and that I want to share with all of you. However, in this particular video I saw something where I was like, wait, is that really possible? I downloaded it, and as it turns out, it is in fact a real redstone machine. And you know that line about how like, oh, if something's advanced enough it's imperceptibly different to magic? Well, the truth is even when you look up like exactly how some of this stuff works, it's still like, but wait, when I make that myself it doesn't quite work, because there's so many kind of layers to this that I didn't even quite understand then. And again, I just wanted to admit with you all, I don't understand this, but it's amazing enough that I had to share it with you all regardless. So hopefully you do all enjoy it. This little bit of, I guess swallowing my own pride, but also just showing you something really amazing I found today. Hopefully you do all enjoy it. Something a little bit different. Please do like this video if you do like it, because it helps out the channel, and lets me know you do like seeing the most insane redstone build that I've seen in quite some time, because what this will allow you to do is drain an ocean of any size. So, you could drain a 1,000 by 1,000 ocean if you wanted to. In this video, you'll be seeing this little, like 32 by like, it's a fairly deep ocean. We're talking tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of water blocks, all drained by, like a machine that you can make in survival if you want to. It takes a lot of like doing to make in survival, but it is theoretically possible. So how does this thing work? Let me set this thing in motion, because I mean, it's first of all, you got to think about this, by the way, as just 4 separate machines. A machine is this wide, so this block to this block is one machine, and then you'll see it repeats, so it's this block to this block, and so on and so forth. It's 4 separate machines that just happen to be activating at the same time, and that have a few machines to make them be more controllable, because the moment we activate these, what's going to happen, of course, is they're going to start their magic routine. They're going to start going this way, and then some other redstone, because there's 2 other bits of redstone at play to make it go backwards and to make it go down, are also going to be on both sides to make sure this whole thing works. And again, seeing this thing is just really, really crazy, because all they're doing is they're filling up the space where the water would be. They're stopping any space where it could flow through, so that it can't make new gaps in the air, and that means that all of the water is being displaced bit by bit by these moving machines. And again, although it's only clearing something like 64 blocks every couple of movements, which means something like 100 blocks a second, this means 100,000 blocks can be done in something like 1,000 seconds. So again, while you see this work and move, because again, I feel like it's so magic to watch, I want to quickly mention that this map was made by ILMango. So again, the redstone is by him. He's like it seemed like a smaller YouTuber, but I again really admire the stuff, and I watched the whole thing and didn't necessarily understand it, but that's one of the reasons why I wanted to share it with all of you. So again, if you haven't seen it yet, there's a place you can check that out. But for now, let me just mention that, yeah, like I said, it's happening, and you're seeing how like, oh yeah, we previously had a level that high, now it's this high, and you can imagine like just easily how easily the uses for this can really, really start to expand. Because if it works this easily for like, oh yeah, so you can drain something this small like this, imagine how you could drain an ocean, or an ocean monument, I guess, but also just an ocean as a whole. Imagine you have an entire ocean, and you think, there's some clay down there, but who can be bothered like, swimming underneath or getting like enchantments and stuff? Well, this would be the solution to that, right? All you'd have to do is make that instead. And by the way, this thing works so fast, it seems to create like artifacts in the sky. Again, by the way, it's a really bizarre piece of redstone that only works on Java and console, so even if you want to replicate this, it only seems to work there. Seems to create a bunch of these like missing behind them blocks, which are real but then also don't exist. It's really weird, bizarre stuff if you ask me. But yeah, it's just one of the like, happens time and time again for reasons I've never been able to quite get to the bottom of, just redstone bugs, I guess. And yeah, as you can see, it's just going to keep happening. So while that happens, let me explain my connection with redstone and why I wanted to show this off regardless, because like I said, this is mostly just a showcase video. I can explain bit by bit the redstone, because essentially these machines, all they're doing is they're looking for, as soon as a block is there, and once the block is there, it pushes like upwards. So if you see, I'm gonna mess up the entire thing by doing that actually. So we'll use this as a better example, because there's like some test versions. Here you can see we've got a single block. As soon as anything hits this, it's gonna as soon as anything hits the piston, sorry, it's gonna activate the block, which then activates that block, makes the whole thing push down double as much. Again, it's crazy how they make that happen, but essentially by using 2 redstone blocks that it's slightly different timed, they managed to make it push down double time. So every time this thing gets hit, it's going to push down twice, which means it's ready to hit the next layer when it comes back again. And the same thing is made in reverse, but over here. And then again, it's got the same like the layer back here, which means that as soon as it hits the edge, which for the record is kind of made to like line up the thing perfectly, it can push the whole thing backwards, which again, it's got the little leaf column or basically by doing that, it manages to push the blocks back. And again, just the complexity of even making one of these redstone machines is kind of cool. complexity of making two on each side, so you can have it infinitely repeat. That's really cool. But then having the magic machine in between them that can do things, that's where things get like a little bit beyond my, you know, like any level I can probably understand. And again, there's always whenever I make these videos where again, like, because some people are always gonna be like, oh, Toycat, well, you know, why do you pretend you know everything? And then some people are gonna say like, oh, Toycat, you made a video about something you don't understand. But I figured that it would be kind of different to show something that like, despite you know, like deep looking into, and despite you know, the fact that I understand like how it works, I can never replicate any of these things. Even if you take the exact same blocks, something about the way you'll make it will end up slightly wrong, which is something fascinating which you don't necessarily experience in the world of Redstone too much. So yeah, Redstone, it's an area of Minecraft that this build in particular has inspired me to learn more about. I think I'm gonna like, you know, focus on, I guess, Bedrock Redstone, so it's slightly different with what's going on here, and it's slightly less well fleshed out. But you know, I think sometimes I wanted to share the moment because it's like a teachable moment of like, this happens in life sometimes where you see something, you're like, that's cool, and I don't quite get it, but it's really cool regardless. And I feel like whenever you have that, you know, kind of teachable moment of like, that learnable moment where you're like, oh, I don't understand something, it's good to just say like, I don't know. Like, there's a huge part of the human brain that wants to just hold on to pretending you know, and like everyone will just be like, oh no, I totally see. I understand that like, they're magic machines, you see, because there's they use the observer block, and observer block makes an infinite loop. But the truth is you gotta like at some point just be like, actually, I don't know enough yet, but I'd like to. And I think that's a whole philosophy behind a lot of my channel, actually. The reason I learn a lot of the weird things about whatever structure it is, like, oh, 10 fun facts about the Ocelot, is because you're like, wait, so how do you do that? Like, the very first time that I decided to go, you know, learn something new was because I didn't know the ladder recipe existed in Minecraft until, like, deep into the, you know, playing the game. Like, it was just one of those recipes, I'm like, oh, that's a thing you can do. Same with glass, and I was like, oh, I feel like an idiot seeing all my friends use glass when I didn't even know that was a block that existed, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna try and find the vague crafting recipes, and then from that, it's like, oh, I wonder if you could do some cool stuff, and you realize that there are so many weird behaviors that every block has, and it's the same for the, you know, it's not just true for Minecraft, which I recommend you, by the way. You know, there's a whole bunch of stuff out there to help you learn more about Minecraft. You know, I obviously would recommend my own videos, but even elsewhere, like, there's so many things where you can learn more about any particular thing in the world. There's a lot of knowledge out there, and honestly, just wanting to seek it is like more than 99% of other people are going to do. And yeah, so if you think to yourself like, oh, I'm not smart, I can't do things, then a moment like this is one where you can be like, actually, yeah, well, I'd like to be in the future. And maybe that's something you can take from that. That's something you can, that's, you know, maybe something you can get from the geography videos too. A lot of people say like, oh yeah, I didn't even know that was a country before you covered it on IBX2Cat Toycat. But yeah, truthfully, that's a reaction you get a lot of the time, and it encourages me to learn more, because I think that feeling of feeling stupid, rather than just being like, no, I understand perfectly, I understand exactly what's happening here, because again, I can't replicate this, no matter how much I try, no matter how much I try to perfectly understand, like, so why is there exactly that much? I guess it's like to mirror the, you know, all the bits that you try to perfectly understand, you can pretend you understand it, or you can actually understand it, and then, you know, use useful stuff in the future, whereas just pretending, you're lying to yourself, and you're not convincing anyone anyway, because it's a well-known phenomenon that, like, the more you know about something, or like the less you know about something, the more confident you are about your knowledge in the thing. So again, if someone's extra confident, and that doesn't necessarily mean that they know stuff, or it means they know everything about it. One of the two. Either way, hope you all enjoy the video. I'm gonna quickly time lapse through the rest of this because I want to show you the whole thing like being drained, because it can't drain the last layer, but it can drain everything but that. So yeah, see you at the end. So that is now the entire thing drained. Again, we're talking like a hugely deep, like, and also more than 32 block wide, you know, just like, this would be an ocean biome, essentially, or at least a large portion of it. And this entire thing, besides the very bottom layer, which you can obviously drain by hand or with sponges or whatever, it doesn't really matter how you want to drain it, like, but it wouldn't take you long to drain one layer, as opposed to draining the 30 or 40 layers. So yeah, basically, that is what you can do with this machine. If you want to download it, I'll leave a link. If you want to see the guy who made it, I'll leave a link to his channel. channel. Again, I thought it was a really, I was just shocked that this was a thing that existed. I was like, is that real? And as it turns out, it is in fact real. Real vanilla Minecraft Redstone that I hadn't seen before. And to preempt a few things, first of all, I hope you'll enjoy the video. But for anyone who's down there like, Toycat doesn't even know the basic redstone, well, you know, like I said, I will now give me a little bit, and I'll get back to you when I'm all the best at redstone. Or at the very least, I'm gonna again do a lot of I guess working with redstone on the bedrock version, so maybe not something exactly off this, because I know there's no quasi connectivity. There's a few different things with bedrock slash Xbox slash Pocket Edition, etc. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing a lot of redstone stuff lately, so in the next few days and weeks. So if you see something redstone related, you know what inspired me. And honestly, I think maybe there was a lesson in there, or maybe there wasn't, and you just enjoyed seeing the machine. But anyway, hope you'll enjoy this video, because I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.